Hello dear friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel on LELB Society. I am Dr. Hariri, the creator and administrator of LELB Society, an online learning community to practice English academically. In this session, I'm going to teach you another unit of 1100 words you need to know, week 37, day 4. Yes, 37, day 4. Before starting, let me show you the flashcards that have been used here. So there are so many flashcards here. Let me show you them. Okay, erudite means scholarly, educated, learned. Yeah. Phobia, germane means relevant, pertinent, related. Amateur. Amateur means not professional, unprofessional. And replete means full of. Surfeit means an abundance of something. Plentiful and plenty of something. So an abundance. Okay, amateur. Celerity means speed. Evidence, some documents that are used to prove or disprove something. Despite means although, in spite of. Dubious, doubtful, untrue, not certain, or suspicious. Let me use the digital word here, suspicious. Okay. And phobia means extreme fear. Phobia. Germane, possible means actually probable. Potential. Infant. Infant means baby, young child. Pertinent means relevant. So pertinent and germane here are actually synonyms. And accompany. Accompany means to go together, to actually go side by side, to make company to somebody. Approach means here in this context as a noun means method. And lethal. Lethal means deadly. Deadly. Okay. And tantamount means equal. Equal to. Tantamount to means equal to. Temerity, boldness, courage to do something. Bedlam, confusion, a cacophony. Let me write cacophony. Cacophony or confusion. Okay. And erudite or scholarly, a person who has graduated actually in a particular field of science. Persistent fear, phobia, germane. And vertigo means dizziness, state of having a headache or actually not being conscious enough because of being acrophobic, suffering from acrophobia. Let me write acrophobia means fear of height. Okay. And to upset the apple cart as an idiom means to overturn something, to make something upside down. Okay. And the bitter pill to swallow means something that is disgusting, repulsive, and repugnant, but you have to do that. Okay. Now let's focus on the words and the context here. Yeah. Okay. And maybe I can zoom in. Yeah. Words in context. Amateur psychologists. Okay. The ideas of Freudian psychology have become part of our everyday life. Okay, become a part of our everyday life. So they are ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means prevalent. Okay, our language, maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Our language is replete, means full of. Cliches means something that has been overused, that have their origin in Freud's writings. They have originated from. The verb form of origin is originate. Okay. Okay. There is a surfeit of amateur psychologists. Surfeit, you could say abundance or plenty of something. Of amateur psychologists who with celerity, with speed, analyze an individual's problems, a person's problems, from the slightest evidence, the minimum amount of something, slightest evidence. Despite their dubious or suspicious or uncertain education and training, it means untrustworthy here, dubious, and training in this field, they discuss symptoms and cures on a most erudite fashion. It means although they don't have enough evidence, and also they are not trained or well educated in this field, they discuss symptoms and cures on a most erudite fashion, most educated manner. Okay, should a person express a fear of height, for example, this phobia is examined. Events from childhood are considered germane to the problem. So this structure actually is rather complex. It should be, this one should be substituted for if a person should express. This is a conditional sentence. So you could just omit if and place should, for example, at the very beginning and invert the whole if clause. So the original sentence has been something like this: if a person expresses a fear or should express a fear of height, and it is substituted or it changes to this one: should a person express a fear of height, this phobia is examined, inspected, events from childhood are considered or regarded germane or pertinent or relevant to the problem, that is acrophobia, fear of height. Is it possible he or she was dropped as an infant? So that could be the cause of that acrophobia. The person was dropped as an infant. Perhaps something in a dream is pertinent to explain the feelings of vertigo that accompany height. Perhaps or maybe something in a dream is pertinent, relevant, or germane to explain the feelings of vertigo or dizziness that accompany, go together, go to, go with height, that is connected to height. For some reason, non-trained people find the Freudian approach to the workings of the human mind most conducive to their practicing as amateur psychologists. Non-trained people, it means unprofessional people or amateur people who do not have much information about psychology, find the Freudian approach or method here to the workings of them, or function or functionality for working of the human mind most conducive to. Pay attention, this is not conductive, this is conductive, but this one is conducive, means contributing to. Okay, it means effective or influential, facilitative. Let me write facilitative. Facilitative. Okay. Conducive to their practicing as amateur psychologists, because actually they are unprofessional, not professional. All right. So far, so good. So, sample sentences. Number 1. She could not countenance the sight of a lethal weapon. It was tantamount to a phobia with her. She could not countenance means support or protect or even tolerate. Okay, tolerate the sight or vision or actually seen, you could see, of a lethal or deadly weapon, because it was tantamount to or equal, means equal to phobia with her. It was actually terrifying. Okay. The erudite man was more than merely bilingual. He spoke 5 languages. Well-educated person was more than merely means simply. So merely, simply. Bilingual, a person who can speak 2 languages. And if a person can speak more than 2 languages, we call him or her multilingual. Multilingual. Yeah. So, he spoke 5 languages. Pay attention to this point, that when you want to say that a person can speak, for example, English, do not say in English. Say, for example, speak English, not in English. So, and speak, for example, German or French, etc. Do not use in here. You see? Okay. And number 3. I would never have the temerity to walk across the steel girder high up a new building. An onset of vertigo would surely follow. I would not have the temerity or courage. Courage, boldness, or even effrontery. Effrontery means temerity. To walk across the steel girder means beam. Street. Beam means actually a piece of metal on the side of the street for protection, which is made of usually steel. That's why we have steel girder. Okay, here across high up a new building, an onset or a start of. Onset means a start. So here, let me just correct myself. This is a street. Steel. Steel girder. Okay, onset means a start. Okay, if I want to just mount, even as a verb, mount means to go up. Mount the steel girders high up in a new building, an onset of vertigo would surely follow. It means I will become dizzy. Okay, number 4. The bedlam in the study hall was not conducive to good work habits. Bedlam or confusion or cacophony in the study hall was not conducive or influential or effective actually for good work habits. Epithets, number 5. Epithets or label. Epithet, label. are not germane when motivating a child to a task. So you could not use epithets or labels to motivate a child to do a task. And here it is, the matching part. Erudite means very scholarly. Phobia means persistent. Fear means continuous. So persistent means continuous. And strong dislike. Germane means appropriate, in close relationship to. Vertigo means dizziness. And conducive means leading and helpful. And the idiom is to upset the apple cart. It means to overturn or disturb a plan or intention. To destroy and disturb a plan and to make something upside down. It was a bitter pill to swallow, something that is, let's say, intolerable, but you have to deal with that. When they upset the apple cart and elected a dark horse. And who is a dark horse? A dark horse is a person here actually who is little known, but actually he is just introduced to others as a surprise. For example, the person actually has a lot of expertise and knowledge, but actually he is not famous and celebrated. All right, we come to the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed it. This actually vocabulary lesson. So if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for the upcoming videos. Thank you very much for your attention, and bye bye.